Today is it. Remember that video I promised you guys? Close this door. It's a beautiful day over here. It's a little cloudy over here in Chicago. So, I'm here with my son. And it's a little bit of an awkward feeling to have this. Not one, but two SHOs. So, yeah. It's a little bit of an awkward feeling. So, as you can tell, you're going to be like, hey, whoa. Yep. We got rid of that chrome. And by far none, it is the best decision that we've ever made. It looks way better. So, the story on these two SHOs. Let's go over it. I'll talk about this right now. Tell me what you guys think. Comment, figure it all out. Let me know. So, that's the original color to the wheel. My son says, because I got these powder coated, he said, man, let's swap wheels so I can put those on that. And take those, put them on that one. That's not a bad idea, right? Let me know what you guys think. So, here's the story. So, probably about a couple of years ago, maybe about 2 years ago, what ended up happening is, needless to say, my son was driving the car and he was going a little fast, and ultimately something fell. I heard it.
What the hell was that?
It's probably a chunk of this. So, yeah. So, oh yeah, the rest of the piston is coming out.
Dude.
Yeah. So, needless to say,
It was a mistake.
this governed. And again, we kind of figured it out between me and the engine builder. The engine builder did disclose. He goes, this is heat. Heat causes this. And I'm like, okay. He's like, I've been building engines. I've also been racing for a long time. I know what this is. So, heat. I said, okay. Lean. We ended up figuring it out. So, what ended up happening is it governed in the middle of boost. Just so happened, this was cylinder number 5. It governed, cut the fuel in the middle of boost, dumped a shitload of air, got it hot, poof. That is this vehicle. This vehicle, lovely vehicle here, was bought. We'll get into money in just a minute. The gentleman stated in the marketplace, turbos are bad. My son looked at me, he goes, okay, what do you think? We bought it for $1,000, and he's like, what are we gonna do? I said, fuck it, we're just gonna take it and rebuild it. I'm glad we rebuilt it. So, this had some cylinder pressure in number 6, because that's where his issue was at. Mine was 5, his was 6. And there could have been many possibilities. This thing was pumping a boatload of smoke. However, let's just take it, rebuild it. Rebuild it brand new. Everything that I did to this one, I mimicked over here. Now, where are we at? Why would anyone in God's mind, right, in their infinite wisdom, go on ahead and blow the amount of money that we blew on our SHOs? No car note. No car note. Now, we're about to give you guys a price before everybody starts to lose their shit. Okay? Because I can already hear, that's stupid and all this other shit. You know, I could do this and I can do that. Pump the fucking brakes. I'm going to give you a reason. I'm going to give you the dollar amount. Then I'm going to give you the why part on why it was done. Here we go. Complete engine build. What ended up saving the cost of this engine build was because everything on the timing side, including the throttle body, I already had invested money. So that minimized on that. Total dollar amount, engine build. The engine build itself was $3,500. New pistons, rings, the whole nine. Now, you took it, rebuilt the heads, the whole nine. $3,500. turbos, brand new lines, other little knickknacks, and the chemicals that I needed, which was the fluids. So I needed all of my fluids, the Freon, things of that nature, and the bill from the mechanic came out to, I believe, was about 25. So let's round everything up. We're looking at about 6. Is that where we're at? We're looking at about 6. I'm going to give it a buffer of anywhere between 7 to 8 grand per vehicle. Okay? Why would anybody in their infinite wisdom do this?
Because for that price, you don't have no.
So here's this. Aside from the car note, most guys would be like, well, you can buy one for like 5 grand. Of course. The problem with that is that you're buying an unknown factor. For repairing these things, for me to go on ahead and take it, repair it, and I just, no. Take it. I had a spare car. We always have a spare car. So it's just the way I have the household built. There's always a spare car. So we ended up attacking mine first. We took care of mine. Once that got done, on our way to go pick up my car, we flatbedded his on our way to go drop it off to pick up mine. So that's how I did it. We took care of that. We took care of both SHOs. Both SHOs are paid for. I managed the hell out of my money. He managed the hell out of his money. He took it and he paid for whatever it is that we discussed on what he would pay for. He's got about 4 grand that he paid out of his pocket. I told him, since you're a good kid, you don't give me any shit, goes to work, drug free, alcohol free, don't get into trouble, not in the gangs, I'll cover the other half. No biggie. So it was important because we dabbled into it. It's just like, why would we rebuild it when we can get other SHOs? And we could probably get better ones, things of that nature, maybe newer models. Am I correct? But the problem is, just like with every single problem, you've got someone who wants to sell you a lie. Oh, this car's been very well kept. I use oils of the gods, and it chimes beautifully when you get into it. It talks to you. Get the fuck out of here. We already know someone's going to go on ahead and take these vehicles and beat the hell out of it. If I beat the shit out of my car, my son beats the shit out of his car, guarantee you somebody else beat the hell out of these cars. So there's no trust. What I do trust is a broken car. The gentleman for my son's car told me that the turbos were bad. He goes, both turbos are bad. They're shot. Okay. Told my son. We talked about it. And needless to say, we just rebuilt it. He goes, what are we going to do? Rebuild it. Buy new all timing components, water pump, oil pump, the whole 9. We're going to do the exact same thing, what I did to mine, to yours. So having both of these here is definitely an awkward feeling, only just to the fact that we can always dream of like, oh my God, matching cars is real cool, son and dad and type shit. And then for it to actually happen, it's a hell of a dream come true. It really is. It really is. Yeah, was $8,000 a piece putting into the car and be like, oh my God, I could have done better. Absolutely. However, this number's matching, and I already know this engine's new. I'll get at least another 250,000 miles out of it. Same thing with that one. So again, what we did, I already had less than 10,000 miles on the timing component. We reused it. Even the engine builder said, he goes, damn, you got less than 10,000? Yeah, you haven't even begun to break that stuff in. We're going to reuse it. New pistons, rings, crank bearings, the whole 9. He redid the heads, surfaced the block, new valve seals, the whole 9. He took care of it. All done, all buttoned up. It does have we upgraded to the NA transmission mount, which I do have a video of. And it works great. Perfectly fine. It's not a power adder, just tired of this thing going boop, because that one keeps failing. That was the same thing with his. Took it, rebuilt it. The only thing that we did different on this one was, bear with me, I'm trying to squeeze through, is that all the timing components are brand new. Because I was not going to take the risk of using, what was the mileage on this?
It was
Do you remember?
It was 249.
249, so round it up to
Yeah,
250,000.
it was 250,000. So.
Okay. So at
Moving
250,
back, like I'm not gonna.
so 250,000 miles on old components, be like, you know what? Don't worry about it. We'll get on new components. And again, he paid for it. New components here. The engine got completely rebuilt. We are going to gently massage certain little repairs. Case in point, right here, you'll notice there's a zip tie. Well, that clip is broken. So we will massage those repairs. Take it, clip it, and then we'll remove the old plugs and then resolder in new ones. Kind of like the situation here. This was crimped. So I don't have a heavy enough soldering iron to have soldered that. So unfortunately, we had to crimp that and make that repair.
We did try to solder that.
So we did, but yeah, I don't have a heavy enough soldering iron. But this is the video that I've been dying to make and haven't had the time, ironically enough. Today was a day that I was just like, okay, everybody's out of the garage. His was here. Let me park my car in the garage. Let me put my equipment back in the car because I traffic control. So I'm like, all right, cool. And it hit me. This is the day. They're both in here. Why not? But yeah, absolutely gorgeous. Both SHOs. Can you do me a favor and open up the door?
The big door?
Yeah.
Oh, my door.
Yeah.
I thought you meant the
So,
garage door.
here he is. We will be getting that detailed. We will get that repaired. Little stuff that we were finding inside the vehicle. But ironically enough, he's always fallen in love with this color interior. And we just so happened to go look at the car. And I'm like, hey, I think this one's got it. He opened up the door. Poof. Sure as shit. It had it.
That was my selling point, honestly. I was
Huh?
like, oh, it's got the chocolate interior. I'll buy it.
So the old lady went on ahead and bought him some WeatherTechs. Okay. They're on the other side. Bought him the whole kit. So here, here, and the trunk. And then that vent was broken. Went to the boneyard. We found another vent. So that got taken care of. It was little subtle things that was just odd. The only thing that was broken in the interior was that and the seat bezel. So, by the way, I will cover the seat bezel. Should you guys be needing to remove that, there is a way to remove it. Part of it is this piece here that is literally clipped underneath the seat. We'll cross that bridge when we get to it. But she is a beaut. She is definitely a beaut. There were some things back here that he ended up removing. We did go, and it just so happened to be a crashed SHO, but the badge was still on it. So we will eventually put that back on there. And I'm still at my odds end of putting it back on there because this right here has got some rust. So we may need another trunk lid.
What
So-
came with it?
What came with it was this.
I mean, this one wasn't that bad, you know, because it's actually what it is. What angered me was this. It felt a little corny to me.
And again, I mean, everybody to each is their own. If you like the EcoBeast, you like the EcoBeast. If you like this, you like that. But yeah, these were on there. Here, it looked a little weird.
You can't
So-
find that on Amazon if you guys want that, though. It's like $1.
So, yeah, we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. But there she is. I've got some stuff here, so. So yeah, is it a substantial amount of money? Yes. Hopefully I can get into a little bit more detail. Every time I try to find an engine for this thing, it just didn't make sense. Why didn't it make sense? I'm gonna give you the why part. So used engines, low mileage used engines, and again with an unknown factor that I hope it works versus I know it's gonna work. New parts, I know they're gonna work. I hope doesn't fit the bill. So for the same price that I could have gotten a used engine for, my engine, both of our engines are brand new with brand new turbos. So when we brokered the deal for the turbos, we did get an excellent deal locally. I went locally because I needed a warranty. So within the 3 years, I have a 3-year warranty on all 4 turbos. 2 turbos per vehicle. So I have a warranty. So in that's why I wanted to take advantage of it, of that. But again, for the price of what a used one was with turbos, it would only make sense to do that. Then we did lines. I talked to the mechanic. Not only did I talk to the manager, who I have years of business with, I actually talked to the mechanic, and I'm like, talk to me. This is your opportunity to speak freely and let me know, because people keep throwing bullshit parts at you. He said, brother, if you can't get me brand new shit, he goes, if all possible. I said, say less. I'll get them all. Get everything brand new. So new coolant lines, new oil lines, feed and return. And again, all the lines and everything, yeah, those are all brand new. The oil lines are stainless steel. So we ended up getting those. And again, not for looks. It's just I know stainless steel is going to last you a lot longer. So, but yeah, as we started dabbling, sorry, I went off the deep end. But yeah, I mean, you know, it was like $4,000 to $5,000 for a used engine. It was $7,000 to probably like $8,000 for a long block. And I'm like, yeah, no, we're just going to take it. We're just going to rebuild it. That's what we're going to do. And after many individuals who had guided me into the direction to do what I did, they're like, you're better off. I had one guy who basically does engine swaps. He goes, trust me. He goes, I bullshit you not. You're better off rebuilding it. He goes, if you can get it for a great price, why not? And ultimately, again, remove the engine, take everything off, full service from the mechanic. He drove it. He actually delivered the engine, picked up the engine after it was built, back into the vehicle, and poof, she's been great. I've had no issues. So kudos to the engine builder. Over here and over in Addison, I believe it's R&R Engineering. I believe so. We'll cover that one day. Maybe I'll have to make a video when I go over to Skip's place. So, but yeah, $8,000. Is it a bit much? Yeah, $8,000, regardless if you're financially wealthy or not financially wealthy. One of those things, $8,000 is nothing to sneeze at. Regardless of your financial position, I value what little money I got, and I value how much money I got. So when we looked at that ticket, when we looked at it and we guesstimated $8,000, what do we do? When I talked to my son, we talked days, if not weeks on this. We talked about it. We did not rush. He said, $8,000, brand new, up and running. Yep. $5,000, I hope it works. Yep. So like, what happens if I hope it works and it don't work? Then it's more money. He goes, how much more? It could be anywhere between $3,000 to $5,000. He goes, let's just do it one time. Let's just do it one time. He goes, 1 + 1 is making sense. So that's why we ended up dabbling into what we dabbled into, why we went on ahead and made the decision to sink $8,000 into it. The transmission, both transmissions were cracked open. The filters were replaced upon the decision of my mechanic, because he's also a transmission builder. He looked at it and he was like, okay, everything looks good. Let's change the filter on this. Say less. Took it, refilled up the fluid. Everything's been fine. Had no issues. So that was the extra stuff. There was other little details, little leaks here and there that he had found, I believe, on the transmission. So he took care of that on my son's car. We just yesterday picked up the car from the mechanic, because quite frankly, we just didn't have the time. So we went on ahead, dropped off the car yesterday. All sway bar bushings, and the 2 front control arms were buttoned up. And again, I'm mimicking whatever it is that I did on my car to his, because I have an unknown factor. I don't know how badly abused the vehicle was. So upon not knowing that, actually upon knowing a piece of information, come to find out that the previous owner to the silver SHO hit a deer. So I, fortunately enough, keep in contact with the owner's brother, the previous owner's brother, and he's been asking me, hey, have you done anything? What's the progress? How's things going? I gave him an update, and I'm like, hey, why is there a new headlight On the driver's side, he goes, oh, my brother hit a deer. And I'm like, okay, if you hit the deer, that would explain the straw that we found underneath the car that literally went from the front to the back. Why did he have new struts? Now it makes sense. He hit the deer and ran off the road into a field. I don't know if we got it out or we got towed out. Needless to say, he messed up the suspension really bad. Real fucking bad. So, yeah. But in my son's case, his was cheaper as far as the engine build. He had 90 PSI on cylinder number 6. I had 0 on mine because it blew completely through. So his was just a cleanup. Mine was a cleanup, but they really had to go in there and really clean it up. There was some scarring on the cylinder wall. So his was about $2,500 to rebuild his. And because it was a second engine, yes, he gave us a little bit of wiggle room. Probably about a couple $100 and that was it. If that. We took care of that. The rear shocks were bad. Again, now that we have the full story of him hitting the deer, which made sense. So we put OEMs in the back. The aftermarkets are still on in the front. And we're okay with it because of the ride. So, and remember, these have rakes. They're kind of lifted in the back. So after the repair yesterday, talked to my son. I'm like, how is it? He goes, it rides exactly like yours and feels like yours. I said, say less. We're going to leave the struts alone. Then to come to find out that the strut bolts were loose too. Unbelievable. So that was in my other video with the whole, he was just asking me about the caliper bolt bracket. It, poof, came off. So again, we went over that the last time. But yeah, this is where we're at. Both SHOs. In the garage, she's clean. Both of them are clean. Close the hood. I am just taken aback. I mean, you know, most people do talk shit and they go, oh my God, I have a great kid. He's the best kid in the world. There are plenty of young men like my son out there in this real world. That's a fact. He goes to work. He handles what he needs to handle at work. He comes home, handle what he helps me with the house. We share the chores in the house. I've got a phenomenal son. I raised the hell out of him. He could have combated me on it. Okay. I'll include this, but I won't get into the detail. I've had custody of him since he was born. I've got sole custody. Let me be exact. I have sole custody since he was born. His mother has not really been in his life, and he could have given me a win world of shit, joined gangs, done all kinds of shit with the excuse of, oh, my mama wasn't in my life. So, but when he came up with the idea of saying, let's have SHOs, let's have them matching. Same era. I said, fuck it. Let's do it. Let's do it. And it's just absolutely breathtaking to be in a position where we're both looking at 2 SHOs parked in the garage. Right? Give me a second. All right. To see this, we see it. I see it on other social media platforms, and I see it with other people. Man, I got matching cars with my son. I got matching cars with my dad. To see it here, yeah, this is a little bit on the emotional side for me. Look at that. How often, I mean, we do see it, but how often do you see it? How often do you hear about it? How often do you hear the true story? That sat for about 1.5 years before I got to messing with it. It did run and drive, even though it had zero PSI in cylinder number 5. All I did was just take it, move it out of the garage. That's all I did. That one was here. We had bought it. Again, that one stayed in the garage for approximately... When did we buy this one? Or when did you buy this one? Sorry about that, because you bought it. Was it February or March of last year?
No. 23. It was like late. I think it was like a December or something.
Was it?
It was like a November or a December where I got it.
Oh, okay.
Because then I told myself, I was like, it's a late Christmas gift. That's what me and all my friends called it. I said, you got yourself a car for Christmas. And then 2 years
Oh, look
later,
at that.
It actually came alive.
Yeah, so ultimately, I believe this one only sat for like a year. Is that what we did? We sat for about a year, and then we got it done.
For a year, and then we actually started in the process on it.
Like November, December?
Yeah, and the process was about 5 months, so a year and a half.
Oh, we were
for the same time.
We were expecting 5 months. That was the same thing with this one. This one took about 6 months because I took the engine was brought to the engine builder during the time of his busy season. So we ended up taking this one on his non-busy season. So we just got this back. This took about 3 months, 3 solid months, start to finish. This one took about like 6 months, start to finish. But again, busy season, non-busy season. But there she is. Yep, $8,000 a piece. And again, this is not to gloat. Sharing the story of why. How often do you want to hear the story and be like, oh, you know, this cost me $2 and I got something magical. Here's the truth. It cost me $8,000 a piece. Cost me $8,000 a piece. Did I pay for everything? No. My first one, yeah, the white one, that's mine. Yeah, I paid for all of that. Then we discussed about that one. So he forked up $4K. He did. He took out of pocket. We bought the parts. Boom, there was that. Then he took it because the engine wasn't ready yet. He was able to stack his money. Oh, how much is it? 25? Here you go. Cash. Done. Done deal. So he's already got his 4K invested in it. I told him I'd take care of the rest. There's nothing wrong with it. He's still offering me. He's still telling me, let's go halves on it. Let's go halves on it. You pay for enough in the house. You've been taking care of me. So I may take him up on his offer. Wants to feel froggy? Buck it. But $8,000 a piece. OEM, original blocks, numbers matching. And again, not trying to be finicky with the whole numbers matching thing, but I already know these vehicles are reliable. I can take it and I can go cross country. I can go anywhere I want. And know for a fact, I've got brand new turbos. I got a brand new engine, brand new timing components, at least for his. Mine's only got 10,000. I've already put, because I travel a lot for my job, that was 4,000, 8,000. That was 3 weeks a month. I'm gonna say I've got about like 12,000 miles already on it. But again, I travel for my job. The last 3 job sites were 1,000 miles a week, and those job sites were, I believe, 5 weeks each. I got about anywhere between 10 to 15,000 miles on it already. So, more or less. But this is the story. I mean, I don't know if I filled in all the gaps. I probably didn't. There's still a bunch of stuff that we're gonna end up doing. That's gonna come off, and there's some other pieces on the side that's gonna come off. The window guards are gonna stay. Sorry about that. So these window pieces are gonna come off. So giving him a clean canvas. So little stuff here and there, but yeah, he is ecstatic.
I'm running 90. Don't try to get gap now.
Don't try to get gap. So we're getting there. Little stuff. The audio, I know I cry a lot when it comes to that audio. Believe me when I tell you, we're gonna have a friend of his who does videography and photography. We're gonna have him do it, and we'll take a look at the video. I'm sure that one's gonna be long as hell. But yeah, the audio on this one, yeah, he's getting 212s. I think I'm probably gonna do the 118 in mine. Again, we'll end up figuring it all out. So battery placements, things of that nature. But that module that goes behind the radio, yeah, that wasn't a cheap module. It's about a $400 module. So again, I want to be able to make the video and do the whole the actual how-to instead of informational. Yeah, that way you guys see what it takes to go on ahead and do it, what it actually does, how it actually works, just the module itself. So, but that's your update. So both engines were bad. Both engines got rebuilt. Cost us $8K a piece, round trip. So they're up and running. matching SHOs, which is, I believe, 4th gen first series, which is 10, 11, 12. So that's what these are. So mine's a 12, his is an 11. And again, the only thing we ended up changing with them taillights. They look so much better. This is off of the base model, in case you guys are wondering. And again, they popped out, popped on, screwed in, exactly just like OEM. There was nothing different. Not at all. And they look fantastic. They absolutely look fantastic. I love it. Sorry for the long video, but I did forewarn you it was going to be long. So, other than that, yeah, mine's got the solid black interior.
Swag.
So, it's all black. But we've got the same everything. He's got the screen. He's got the Sony sound system in it. But again, once we start dabbling into this with the audio, then you'll start to see why some people are charging astronomical amounts of money to do this. We opted to keep everything OEM. So the module that I'll be using sends a flat signal, literally a dead flat signal to the back. What will change is we're going to be disconnecting the amp, and we're going to be running another amplifier for all the interiors, so that when you start to raise your volume and all of a sudden it gets louder, but the bass flatlines, that's called roll off. The bass rolls off. So that's the design of this OEM. Once we disconnect the speakers from the amplifier, because it does come with a I bought the wiring kit for it. So not only the module, but the actual wiring harness to rewire everything from the amplifier. And again, I will share that when we cross that bridge when we get to it. But yeah, that roll off, that's gonna come right the hell out. There she is. I'm having fun. Sharing this moment with him and just doing everything that I've always wanted to do with my old man that I never got. So unfortunately, my old man was just, he's just one of them. What can I tell you? You know, I won't get into trash talking dads or my dad, but needless to say, we didn't have one of the best relationships to be able to do work on cars and do what I've always wanted to do. So once I got him into cars, and it was just by accident, it was just, he's a boy, I'm taking him to car shows, and he was learning emblems, and it was just getting out of hand. And next thing you know, we come across some guys with large audio systems, which were my bass heads, and between the hot rodding and the bass heads, forget it, got the better half of both worlds. So I'm enjoying it. Hope you guys liked the video. Again, apologize for it being long. If I missed something, if you guys want to know the intricate details, I believe I have the receipts. But again, that's going to be a little bit on the irrelevant side, only due to the fact that pending where you are at geographically, the numbers are going to change. So, but I hope this information sheds light on what you can and cannot do. Could we have bought 2 other SHOs up and running? Of course. But then we would have come across the same shit. An unknown factor. I have no idea what you did to the car. The seller's trying to sell it. He's going to sell me a pipe dream. Oh my God, she's been babied, and you know, all we did was 10 miles an hour. I got time for that shit. I already know what you did to the car. Just sell me some honesty. And that's what ended up happening to this guy. I said, be honest. He goes, I put a tune in it. He goes and blew the turbos. I told him, I said, I'm in it. I'm buying the car. I'm coming home with the car. I said, you're only like literally less than 5 minutes away. And once I told him where I was at, he goes, holy crap. He goes, you're less than 1/8 of a mile. I said, yeah. He goes, you're committing to it. I said, brother, I got the money in my pocket, but I'm only going to give you 1,000. My son looked at me. He goes, I got the 1,000. I got it. I said, that's it. I got the bill of sale ready. He goes, damn. He goes, you got everything ready. I said, yeah. I said, I'm not wasting your time, but you got to sell me honesty. He goes, yeah, I put a tune in it, put a handheld tuner in it, and all of a sudden, poof, went the turbos. And I'm like, oh, if he went poof with the turbos, he probably went poof with the engine too. So with that being done and said, I took the honesty and I told him, I said, I'm in it for 1,000. If I go on ahead and the engine literally explodes down your block, I'm not going to come back and be mad at you. because you gave it to me for my price. He said, bet. Come get it. And we got it. So, yeah, but at least we know they're brand new engines. We're good. We're running them. Everything's been copacetic for the past, I'm going to say 3 to 4 months for mine. We're in April 4. I'm going to say about 5 or 6 for mine. He just got his back. So I'm going to say about a month.
3 weeks a month.
3 weeks to a month he's been driving his.
I'm still at the point where I'm wiping it every day. So.
Yeah, so, but yeah. 2 SHOs. Yep. Cost us some money, but we got them both up and running. No car notes. Paid for it. Why not? So be careful what you're buying out there. There's nothing wrong. You'll get individuals be like, don't waste the money. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't you dare waste that money and put that type of money in there. But I pump the brakes. Whose money is it? Is it yours or is it mine?
There's nothing wrong with the car note. What was wrong with my idea was that I'm 19 and I was trying to put myself on a $100,000 car that I knew I couldn't afford, which is why the matching cars made more sense.
Yeah.
Get off.
Yeah. So, and he's not exaggerating. What he was looking at,
It was like a
what it was like, man,
M5
it was man, dude. This thing had to be about, fuck.
It was 80 grand at the dealership.
Was it 80 grand?
It was 80 grand at the dealership, and I was trying to convince the owner of the dealership to buy it so that you could get it for me. And then he was like, dude, you just got here. He goes, why do you want me to buy a car for you?
Oh, long
Like,
story
it was
short,
bad.
he was working at a dealership, and he
was
was already trying to convince the guy, buy it, and I'll have my old man buy it. And we had discussed about it, so I need you to understand, you, my son, you better have BMW money, because I'm not paying for that bitch. I said, you need an honest to God, really good daily. And all of a sudden, he gets into my car one day, and I guess he ended up breaking it up in somebody's ass, and he's like, why don't we get matching cars? And I'm like, that's what I've been telling you. You fucking don't listen. But yeah, he understood the concept once I explained it to him about having BMW money, what it takes to service those vehicles, how much parts cost, things of that nature. Once we started breaking it down, he goes,
They're not bad cars.
so don't get me wrong. It's not that it's a bad car. It's understanding when you have an in particular vehicle, you better have in particular vehicle money. See, we have SHO money. You guys know it's not that expensive to repair. It really is not. How can you beat? Not gonna put it that much on a pedestal, but I am gonna give it credit where credit is due. You got a 4,200 curb weight. Look at the size of this thing. They're like yachts. There's a full-size sedan, all-wheel drive, 3.5 liter twin turbo.
And they don't look that bad.
Oh, so, and they don't.
It still looks like a decent
So-
mid-size sedan car. It's just oversized. Everything.
Pedal Max and Boost Max. Right now, they're currently off because I sent back the Pedal Max. They're doing research because they're trying to figure out what the hell they did with my Pedal Max. Because we ended up getting the Pedal Max, and there is an additional software that you pay extra for that's supposed to be the nasty version. I had a long talk with a buddy of mine, or the guy over at Pedal Max. I can't help but to laugh. I'm sorry. I can't wait to hear the sound of his voice and be like, what the hell were we thinking when we gave you this software? Because it is aggressive. You are talking about Touch Go? That's exactly what this thing did. If you've ever seen the cartoon Cars, where Lightning McQueen gets released from that boot and he goes, pew,
Right when
shoots
they
off.
were gonna hook him up to Bessie, if anyone really remembers it, and made her let him off the boot and he shot out, it's exactly how these cars react.
It's the funniest shit.
I bullshit you not. And I'm not exaggerating. Like, you were like, what? Hold on. 4,200 pound curb weight? Yeah. Plus my 300 pound ass. Yeah, it's 4,500 pounds. And it just poof. Took off. So we ended up sending it back. And I'm like, brother, trust me, we've already did the test on it. I explained to him what the test was. He goes, okay. He goes, you're making sense of the test. I'm like, yeah. So the Pedal Max is off on both vehicles. We ended up doing it. Pedal Max and Boost Max are both off because both Pedal Maxes are in Florida getting reprogrammed. He's transferring he's duplicating or replicating my software into his. And then that's where we're going to go on ahead and get it back. So before you guys go on ahead and, oh man, Pedal Max and Boost Max, pause, because we're trying to refine this software. Because I've got what they call the nasty version. Yeah, I don't think they gave me nasty. I think they gave me McNasty. Yeah, I believe they gave me a custom one. Because when I talked to him a few years ago, I said, brother, I need this. I need it to be aggressive.
This is the website.
So. So there's that. You know what? It's probably going to look at it backwards. Give me a second. There it is. jmschip.com. So these are the guys that make the Pedal Max and the Boost Max. I like their shit better than Pedal Commander. Sorry. So, don't get me wrong. The Pedal Commander does work because we put it on the old lady's car because I was the only one that was going to be compatible to her car. What I like about the JMS chip is that it's dialed. You can dial it in. You can tweak it. With the Pedal Commander, it's got presets. I'm not into that whole preset. So, but yeah. So, again, please pause before you guys end up buying these things. If you've already bought it, pause. Because I'm in the middle of talking to them to finding out what they can do with my software, if they can, kind of store it somewhere, and we'll take it from there. So, luckily enough, I've got tomorrow off. I will be giving them a call, and then we'll figure it all out, and then I'll give you guys an update. Apologies, but I did forewarn you guys. This is going to be a long-ass video. If you need to skip, that's fine, but you guys have nothing. You guys can give me your time. I greatly appreciate it. To all the individuals that have subscribed, you see the confused look on my face. I do shit just to help people out. Pardon me. I'm not used to people subscribing to my channel. I got a shitload of people subscribing to my channel. Thank you.
You can at least sound confident.
I'm just saying, when you're so used to doing shit for free, again, you guys see it. I don't have a Patreon, brother. I make more than enough money. I'm good. I'm financially stable. So I don't take other people's money to help. So,
damn, motherfucker, 275 subscribers.
Oh, look at that.
What the hell?
And again, I didn't even think about it. And they're like, well, that's 275 subscribers. That's it. That's all you got.
No,
but look at it this way. For a channel that just is a nobody. It's a nobody channel, bro. If y'all want to come over here and talk about cuckoo clocks, you come over here and talk about cuckoo clocks, man. I ain't gonna judge you.
Like a good car show is 300 people. That's a lot of people.
Bro,
that's a lot of cars.
Oh, you heard it.
That's a lot of people.
You heard it. But yeah. By all means, again, I will keep apologizing. Sorry for the long video, but I did forewarn you that this was going to be a long video. I hopefully covered everything. I don't know the full detail of the build. I do have the receipt that I did keep of both engine builds. So, and I think he's got things checked off on it. But again, primarily for what it is, if I can go on ahead and get in contact with him, which I know I can. If you guys got questions and things of that nature, then by all means, questions, comments, just do me a favor. Be careful on how much you troll. I don't mind the trolling, but, some people may find that a little bit on the offensive side. All right, holla at your fucking boy. Have a wonderful day.